there are thousands of lenders out there. So how do you choose a good lender? Choosing the right lender is absolutely key to having a successful home search, and it might even be the key to getting the right home also. First, you need to know that getting pre-approved or pre-qualified are very different things than getting a mortgage approval. To get a pre-qualification letter, literally all you have to do is fill out an online form, and then lenders could just send you a pre-qualification letter after reviewing it for a couple minutes. But there are so many things that could go wrong with your mortgage approval that are not in that online application. Things like income frequency and stability, bank deposits, small things on your credit report, credit cards, your employment. So many things could cause you to not get your application approved. That could slip through on a pre-qualification application, but not a full mortgage application. And I'm not saying this is scary, but there are literally a million things that could go wrong and could cause your mortgage to not be approved. So you really need to speak with a loan officer who has a ton of experience with purchases and really knows what they're doing, so that when they give you a pre-approval or a pre-qualification letter, you know that without a doubt, when you do find a home, your mortgage is going to get approved. So not only do you need to find a loan officer who can get you pre-approved with confidence, but you need to find a bank who can get you to closing smoothly and on time. So how this all works is your loan officer is your point of contact with the bank. So you'll reach out to your loan officer with questions and for pre-qualification letters. And then once you're under contract, your loan officer is going to pass your loan file to their processor. The processor is responsible for collecting all the documentation that you need for your loan. And trust me, there's a lot. So if this processor doesn't know what they're doing, the process could be a big, unorganized mess. They could be asking you for the same bank statements 3 times, and it just makes the process a lot more stressful. Next, the processor gives your file to the underwriter for review. The underwriter is basically the person who takes a microscope and looks at your loan to make sure that your loan meets all of the regulations and the rules for mortgages, and that there's no reason why you would not be able to pay your mortgage back. They're the person who goes over the nitty-gritty details and decides if your loan is approved or not. The underwriting process is typically the longest part of the process, and if you work with a bank who's understaffed or maybe doesn't have the right staff, the underwriting process could take weeks or maybe even a month. This can really delay your closing and could potentially even lose you the house, because at this point you're out of contract if you can't close when you say you can because underwriting isn't done doing what they need to do. So it's really important that you work with a good loan officer who works for a good bank. They both need to be really strong. So how do you know what the good loan officers and banks are? Number 1, always go with a local bank and a loan officer who you know. Never go through an online bank. Typically, the best way to find a trusted loan officer through a good bank is through your agent. Your agent has been through the process many of times, and they know who has a good reputation and who is going to be able to get you to closing smoothly. And then you'll want to make sure that you're not being charged any crazy fees or a really high interest rate. So always make sure that you read over any estimates that they give you, and it doesn't hurt to maybe get a second opinion just so you know that the numbers that you're being given are fair. If you're considering buying your home in the next year, sign up for the Home Buyer Workshop. I'll link it below. We'll teach you everything you need to know about how to make the home buying process easy.